a little windy, so you're going to have to bear with me, my friends. I'm out pushing the e-bike again. And just, kind of getting an idea how far I can go, how far I can push it without getting into trouble. Not too shabby. I'm pretty far out and I still got a lot of battery left, so cool. It seems to me, I was telling a friend of mine back home that my initial ride on the e-bike, when I ran out of power about 6 miles from home, I was not quite as far as I am today. But as I have charged it on a few occasions now, I've noticed that the battery has maybe kind of sort of settled in, for lack of a better word. Perhaps it's needed a breaking in period so that it could charge to a greater capacity. I have no idea. But anyways, I came down another road and I came out into this beautiful area where I'm very, very close to a mountain range. And I thought, wow, this is spectacular. And there's a big farming area here that is not growing rice. And that's a little different. Peanuts, corn, and peanuts and corn. I think that's about it. No, that's not it. There are some peppers being grown here as well, right along this edge. Chili peppers. And just a glorious view. I mean, it's worth what it maybe took me an hour to get out here. Just worth it for the be able to stop and take in the view here. Got a partly cloudy day. Now if I turn this way, there's a temple right there. And some homes scattered about. I'm totally unfamiliar with this territory. I think there's some kind of hostels back here, possibly. So I turn this way and it gets brighter because it's sunny. But you turn towards the mountains and you can see the misty kind of rain. There's some rain going on there. So if you were up there, it was clear a moment ago because I was looking in through that narrow gap right there. And you could see all the way, and you could see it as clear as you can over here. But there's some rain, little pocket of rain up there right now passing through. So nice little grow area. Now I noticed here in the distance, I don't know, honestly, I thought they were trees for a minute, but they're not trees. They're some kind of vine growing plant. So there's a couple dozen towers back there of triangular towers of growing plants. Anyways, beautiful, beautiful area. Now this little patch of land right here, I have no idea what it is. There's a little garden right in here, but that's it. Who knows who owns it or whatever, but I can imagine I mean, you know, you'd have to sort of kind of picture Colorado or something where you would buy a big square of land here and have this view every day when you came out with your coffee in the morning. That'd be pretty awesome. There's some houses back in here as well that are adjacent, and those are probably pretty awesome too, to go in your backyard and just see those mountains every day. I like the view that we have from our patio of, this is part of the mountain range that you can see in the distance from our second floor patio. But to get this close, it's cool. And it slopes down over here and then comes back up into this hilly area. And it's great because I love to see so many trees. Not your palm trees, not your coconut trees, you know, not your beetle trees, but actual trees. And there's a whole hillside of them here. Now back this way a little bit on the other side, there's a glorious ancient temple, which I saw partially from another road I went down for a second, and I thought, my God, that thing is absolutely fantastic. And I came down a road here and circled around to come down here, but there's a main road right here. Just down a little ways on the other side, I came to the entrance of it, and it looked like there was a large, old, ancient stone staircase that wound up to it. And I would say it looked to me to be about, I don't know, over 100 stairs. And I couldn't do it because I don't have a lock for the e-bike. And so I couldn't leave the e-bike at the bottom of the stairs and go up. But it's possible I can come out here with my wife on the motorbike and we can visit it together. It's a shame because I'm doing all these adventure rides, and then she looks at the videos when I get home. She's like, you know, you son of a bitch. Because she would have loved this as much as I do. And I keep saying, yeah, I'm discovering all these places that we can then come out together on the motorbike, which would be like significantly faster, easier, and we could get around to a lot more than I can on the e-bike. But, you know, I lock these in my memory as to how to get out to these places, and her and I will eventually make our way out here together. The nice thing about Vietnam is when you're out exploring like this, morning or in the afternoon, I want to say evening, but there's not really a purpose to come out here when it's dark. But morning and afternoon, you can always find a coffee shop, you can always find a cafe, you can always find a restaurant to get something to eat. So it's not like, you know, oh Lord, if we come out here, where will we find food? Always can find food in Vietnam. Yeah, rows of corn. Excuse me, rows of corn, and then directly in front of me, in between the rows of corn, are the peppers, like you see here. That's cool. And peanuts galore, peanuts, peanuts, peanuts. It's a good crop. And you know, you get these like you do in Napa Valley in California and places like that. In many areas of Vietnam, you get these microclimates. You got a generally good growing climate, you know, all year long. But then you get closer to the mountain areas where I just showed you there was some rain passing through. You get these microclimates, and so I would think that this is a really good spot to grow. And as you can see, that rain has cleared out, and you can, not all together, but you can kind of see up into that valley now. And I'm always scoping these places out to some regards because there are areas throughout Vietnam. I think it's a lot in the north, but anywhere you see them, you see these mountains, and I'm like, it's not Everest. You know, it's not like, you know, a potential death climb. They are not severely sloped like El Capitan or something like that, where it's just a wall of vertical rock. And, you know, you have professional climbers climbing them. These mountains here have what I seem to be not too difficult slopes. And what I mean is, and I've said this before, I think they're climbable. I think that they're obtainable. The only thing is I don't think there's any kind of trails, or you'd have to figure out your own way. But it is doable. And there's a part of me where, you know, you kind of think to yourself when you're my age, where you're looking a little bit down the road there, and there's a signpost that says 70 on it. And that is not too far for me. And that's just a few years away. And the thing of it is it's like, I'm thinking, you know what, the mind is, or the stomach is larger than the appetite. I can't remember how that saying goes. I know one saying is like, don't write a check with your mouth that your body can't keep. That probably is more fitting. But I'm thinking there's a part of me inside that says I want to climb up that slope all the way to the top of that mountain. There are actually 1, 2, 3. There are 3 slopes. There's some slopes here. I see some electrical and or radio towers up there. So if you can get up to the ridge, I think you can have a little bit of a easier time walking across the top once you achieve the summit. There's got to be a way. I mean, it's not even the kind of hiking that I see where you would need ropes. You know, you would need to traverse some stuff with ropes. I think with a couple of good hiking boots, good physical condition, maybe couple of hiking sticks, and proper preparation, it's doable. So what I think I'm going to try to do is, since I'm so close right now, I was thinking about going down this way. It curves and goes down a little bit further. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back on the main road, and I'm going to go down a little bit more and see if I can get right next to them. And then I'll have to head back home. But I had to stop and get this. And we've got fantastic weather going on right now, so that's going to last another month, maybe. I want to say 2 months, because it doesn't really get like super duper hot until late May, and then you have all of June, all of July, all of August. Those are the brutal months. Those are the super hot months. That's where I'll be taking the e-bike rides to the beach a lot and getting in my dips again. But for now, it's a great weather time to get out into the countryside and ride around and explore. So I know I do these just to show you different areas of where I'm living, into the outer sections of where I live, and I hope that you find them enjoyable and interesting. I'm not a vlogger. I'm not trying to be a vlogger. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. These are for posterity's sake, for general historical purposes, for myself. I do have some people that follow along with my channel. I have less than 100 subscribers, and I don't really care. I'm not interested in doing editing and narrations, you know, professionally done narrations where I write out a script, or I do segments where I'm editing scripts and describing things. It's like, here you go. If you're watching and you enjoy it, that's great. Thank you. If you don't, whatever. It's a lot of it is just, like I said, it's for my own purposes. It's a lot of times to show my wife, people back home, and that's it. Another nice thing about Vietnam is there's no reason to feel uncomfortable coming out into neighborhoods and areas where people live as a foreigner, in my opinion, and just stopping and looking around. Vietnamese people are very kind, they're curious, they're inquisitive, but they do not bother you. They don't harass you, they don't bother you, you don't have anything to worry about. So let me get back on the bike, and if I do happen to get into another spot closer to these mountains or something, I'll pull out the phone and do another one.